Here are Grandpa's 37 genius survival hacks in a wild that might save your life one day. Build a bow drill to start fire. Fire is one of the most crucial survival tools in the wild, and a bow drill can help you start one without matches or a lighter. To make a bow drill, find a flexible stick for the bow and tie a durable cord to its ends. Use a dry, straight stick as the spindle and a flat piece of wood with a notch as the fireboard. Wrap the bowstring around the spindle and move the bow back and forth to create friction. The resulting heat generates an ember, which can ignite dry tinder. Dig a trench for warmth. A trench can save your life in freezing temperatures. By insulating your body from the cold ground and wind, it helps conserve heat effectively. Select a dry, sheltered location and dig a trench just wide enough for your body using sharp stones, sticks, or whatever tools are available. Line the bottom with dry grass, leaves, or moss to trap warmth. Lie down inside, covering yourself with more foliage or branches. This simple shelter reduces heat loss significantly. For extra comfort, position the trench near a fire, letting the heat radiate toward you while you rest. Tap trees like birch for food and energy. Did you know that birch trees offer natural sustenance in the wild? Grandpa often used just a knife or sharp rock to access their sap. Find a healthy birch tree and carefully carve a small, downward-angled cut into the bark, about an inch deep. Insert a hollow reed, straw, or curved bark strip into the incision to direct the sap into a container. The sap, rich in natural sugars, flows most abundantly in early spring. Its hydration and energy-boosting properties make it a vital survival resource, especially when food is limited in harsh conditions. Boil pine needles for vitamin C tea. Pine needles are a surprising source of nutrients in survival scenarios. They contain high levels of vitamin C, which boosts immunity and prevents scurvy. Collect fresh, green needles from a safe pine species, removing brown or damaged ones. Rinse the needles thoroughly and chop them to release oils. Boil water. Add the needles and let them steep for 10 minutes. Strain out solids before drinking the tea. This simple method creates a warm, tangy drink that replenishes nutrients. Dry moss or grass under clothes for tinder. Finding dry tinder in wet conditions is essential for starting a fire. Moss or grass, even if damp, can be dried using your body heat. Gather a small bundle and place it under your shirt or jacket close to your torso. The warmth from your body gradually removes moisture, leaving the material fluffy and dry. After an hour or so, check if it's ready to ignite with a spark or ember. Strike flint-like rocks to make sparks. Fire is critical for survival, and flint-like rocks can help you start one. Striking hard rocks like flint, quartz, or chert against steel or another sharp stone creates sparks. These sparks, when directed onto dry tinder like grass or moss, can ignite a flame. The friction generates heat that produces the spark, and the small ember catches on the tinder. Practice striking at an angle to maximize spark output. Stuff clothes with grass or moss for warmth. Did you know that grass or moss can serve as insulation to keep you warm? The air pockets in these materials trap heat, reducing heat loss from your body. Gather dry grass or moss and stuff it into your clothing, especially around your chest and back, where warmth is crucial. Adjust and replace the padding regularly to ensure it remains dry and effective. This simple trick is especially useful when you lack sufficient layers in cold conditions. Chew charcoal to alleviate mild poisoning. Charcoal can act as a natural remedy for mild poisoning by absorbing toxins. Its porous structure binds to harmful substances in your stomach, preventing their absorption into the bloodstream. If you've consumed questionable food or water, chew a small piece of clean, cooled charcoal from a fire and swallow it with water. Avoid using ash or contaminated charcoal. While this method is helpful in emergencies, it's not a substitute for professional medical treatment. Seek help as soon as possible to address potential complications and ensure complete safety. Arrange logs in an X shape for distress. An X made of logs or branches is a universal distress signal, visible from above and recognized as a call for help. Find a clear area like a field or beach and use large logs or branches to create the shape. Clear away surrounding debris to make the signal stand out. If possible, surround the X with stones or contrast it against the ground for better visibility. This signal can attract rescuers from aircraft or distant areas, significantly increasing your chances of being found in emergencies. Add green branches to fires for smoke signals. Smoke signals are an effective way to attract attention in the wild. Adding green branches to a fire creates thick, white smoke due to their moisture content. Build a fire using dry wood, and once it's burning steadily, place green branches or damp leaves on top. Arrange the fire in a visible area, like a hill or clearing, to maximize its reach. Keep adding green materials to maintain consistent smoke. This method is particularly useful for signaling rescuers during daylight hours, as the dense smoke is easily spotted from a distance. Twist bark into rope for tying. Bark can be turned into durable rope for survival needs. Flexible bark from trees like cedar or willow works best. Strip off long, thin pieces of bark and soak them in water to increase pliability. Once softened, twist 2 strips together tightly to form a sturdy cord. The fibers interlock as they dry, strengthening the rope. Use this rope to secure shelters, bundle firewood, or set traps. Regularly inspect and replace it as needed for critical tasks, ensuring it stays reliable under tension. Use bark or leaves as shoe padding. Natural materials like bark or leaves can provide cushioning and support in worn-out shoes. Collect soft, pliable bark or large, dry leaves and layer them inside your footwear. These materials reduce friction and absorb shock, preventing blisters and discomfort. For added comfort, place moss on top of the layers. Replace the padding frequently, especially if it becomes damp. This hack is essential for long treks in harsh conditions, offering protection when shoes are damaged or ill-fitting. Navigate at night using the North Star. The North Star is a reliable guide for navigation in the wild. Unlike other stars, it remains fixed in the night sky, pointing true north. Locate the Big Dipper constellation, which resembles a ladle, and follow the 2 stars at the edge of its bowl to a bright star above. This is the North Star. Align your path accordingly to maintain direction. This timeless technique is invaluable for orienting yourself in unfamiliar terrain, especially when compasses or maps aren't available. Catch grasshoppers for protein. Grasshoppers are a plentiful and nutritious source of protein in survival situations. Grandpa would look for them in tall grass or bushes, especially during cooler parts of the day when they're less active. Catch them by hand or use a makeshift net. Remove their wings and legs before cooking for easier consumption. Roast them over an open fire until crispy. Grasshoppers provide essential energy, making them an ideal food source when other options are scarce. They're a practical solution to hunger in the wild. Create smoky fires to repel predators. A smoky fire can act as a deterrent to predators in the wilderness. The thick smoke masks scents and creates an intimidating barrier. Build a standard fire with dry wood, then add green branches, damp leaves, or fresh grass to produce smoke. Position the fire near your shelter, but at a safe distance to avoid inhaling smoke. Maintain it by periodically adding green materials. This method is particularly effective in areas with wild animals, helping to keep you safe overnight. Cover skin with mud to repel mosquitoes. Mud can act as a natural barrier against mosquitoes in the wild. By coating your skin with a thin layer, you block the mosquito's ability to bite while masking your scent. Use clean, moist mud from a stream or pond and spread it evenly over exposed areas. Allow it to dry to form an effective shield. Mud also provides cooling in hot climates, offering dual benefits. Reapply as needed, particularly if the mud starts to crack or wear off. Build a fish trap for protein. Catching fish for sustenance is possible with a simple trap. Use sticks, rocks, or vines to build a funnel-like structure in shallow water, directing fish toward a narrow exit. Position the trap with the narrow end downstream to prevent escape. Enhance its effectiveness by placing bait such as worms or plant scraps inside the trap. Regularly check for catches and reset the structure as needed. This method is low effort yet highly effective, providing a reliable source of protein in survival situations. Crush aromatic plants to reduce stress. Aromatic plants can be a natural remedy for stress relief in survival situations. Many plants, such as lavender, mint, or eucalyptus, release calming oils when crushed. Collect a handful of leaves or stems, crush them gently and inhale deeply to experience their soothing aroma. You can also rub the oils on your wrists or temples for prolonged effects. These natural scents can ease anxiety and help maintain focus during challenging moments. Identifying and using these plants provides both a physical and mental boost in the wild, improving your overall resilience. Filter water with sand, charcoal, and moss. Filtering water in the wild is essential for safety. Create a makeshift filter using sand, crushed charcoal, and moss. Layer these materials in a container, starting with moss, followed by sand and charcoal at the bottom. Pour water through the layers, allowing each to trap debris and absorb impurities. Charcoal removes toxins, while sand and moss filter out larger particles. Boil the filtered water for added safety. Make a charcoal poultice to draw out toxins. Charcoal poultices are a practical remedy for drawing out toxins or treating wounds. Charcoal's porous structure absorbs harmful substances from the skin. Crush clean, cooled charcoal into a fine powder and mix it with a small amount of water to form a paste. Spread the paste onto a clean cloth and apply it to bites, stings, or minor infections. Secure the poultice in place and leave it on for several hours before replacing. This method reduces swelling, alleviates pain, and promotes healing, making it an invaluable tool in survival scenarios. Use grass or leaves for insulation. Grass and leaves are excellent natural insulators, helping to conserve body heat in cold conditions. Gather dry materials and stuff them into your clothing, focusing on areas like your chest and back. This creates air pockets that trap warmth and reduce heat loss. For sleeping, layer grass or leaves beneath you and over your body to shield against the cold, ground, and wind. Replace wet or compacted materials to maintain effectiveness. Treat cuts with ant mounds as natural stitches. In the wild, ant mounds can serve as a natural way to close cuts. Large soldier ants are ideal for this task. Gently press the edges of the wound together and hold an ant near the cut. Allow the ant to bite across the wound, then carefully twist off its body, leaving the mandibles clamped shut. Repeat as needed to seal the wound. The ant's natural grip holds the edges of the skin together, aiding in clotting and reducing infection risk. Seek proper medical attention as soon as possible for thorough treatment. Track a stick's shadow for direction. Using a stick and its shadow is a reliable way to determine direction. Place a straight stick vertically into the ground and mark the tip of its shadow with a small stone or twig. Wait 15 to 20 minutes and mark the shadow's new tip. Draw a straight line between the 2 points. This line runs roughly east to west. Standing with the first mark on your left will point you north. This timeless method by Grandpa provides accurate navigation, especially when other tools like a compass are unavailable. Sleep in hollow trees for warmth and safety. Hollow trees can offer both warmth and protection in survival situations. Choose a tree large enough to accommodate your body while shielding you from the elements. Line the hollow with dry leaves, grass, or moss to insulate against the cold. The tree's natural structure protects from wind and predators, creating a safe resting spot. Ensure the space is free of insects or animals before settling in. Sleeping inside a tree not only conserves heat, but also provides a secure shelter when no other options are available. Boil and roast acorns to make them edible. Acorns are a valuable food source, but their tannins must be removed to make them safe to eat. Start by shelling the acorns and boiling them in water. Change the water multiple times until it runs clear to leach out the bitter tannins. Once boiled, roast the acorns over a fire to enhance their flavor and texture. These prepared acorns can be eaten as a snack or ground into flour for baking. This process turns an abundant natural resource into a nutritious survival food. Always carry duct tape. Grandpa said that duct tape is one of the most versatile survival tools you can have. It can patch torn clothing, repair gear, or create makeshift bandages. Use it to waterproof items or even construct a temporary shelter. In emergencies, duct tape can be twisted into a rope or used to secure splints for injuries. Its adhesive properties work in both wet and dry conditions, making it invaluable in the wild. A lightweight and compact duct tape is a simple item that solves countless survival challenges. Squeeze cactus pulp for hydration. Certain cacti, like the prickly pear, can provide hydration in arid environments. Carefully cut off the spines and peel away the tough outer skin to access the pulp. Squeeze the pulp firmly to extract its juice into a container or directly into your mouth. Avoid overconsumption, as some cacti may have laxative effects. Ensure you identify the species correctly, as some are toxic. This method provides a vital source of water in deserts, supplementing hydration when other options are unavailable. Crush plantain leaves to soothe bites. Plantain leaves, common in many regions, are a natural remedy for insect bites and stings. Their juices contain anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties that soothe itching and reduce swelling. Crush a handful of leaves into a paste and apply it directly to the affected area. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes before rinsing. Reapply as needed to alleviate discomfort. Plantain leaves are abundant and easy to identify, making them an effective solution for treating minor skin irritations in the wild. Use a stone as a hammer. A sturdy stone can function as a makeshift hammer for various survival tasks. Look for a rounded, heavy stone with a flat surface for better control. Use it to drive stakes into the ground, crack open nuts or shells, or shape other tools. Grip the stone firmly and strike with precision to avoid injury. This natural tool is readily available and effective, allowing you to complete essential tasks without needing modern equipment. Its simplicity makes it a must-know hack in wilderness survival. Apply snail slime to burns for healing. Did you know that snail slime has been used traditionally for its soothing and healing properties? It contains natural compounds that reduce inflammation, moisturize skin, and promote healing. Collect a live snail and allow it to crawl over the burn, leaving its slime behind. Gently spread the slime over the affected area without rubbing. Let it dry before rinsing with clean water. This method is particularly helpful in emergencies when no medical supplies are available. Use it cautiously, ensuring the snail and environment are clean to avoid infection. Twist plant fibers into string. Plant fibers can be twisted into a strong and versatile string in survival situations. Look for fibrous plants like nettles, yucca, or inner tree bark. Strip the fibers and soak them in water to increase flexibility. Twist two strands tightly in opposite directions, creating a durable cord. Use this string to tie bundles, secure shelters, or make traps. Keep the fibers dry to maintain strength. Sharpen rocks for cutting. Rocks can be sharpened into cutting tools with a bit of effort. Select a hard, brittle rock like flint, quartz, or obsidian. Strike the rock with another stone at an angle to chip away edges and create a sharp blade. Use the resulting tool to cut rope, prepare food, or shape wood. Regularly sharpen the edge to maintain functionality, ensuring the rock serves its purpose effectively for survival needs. Follow in trails to find food. Ant trails can lead you to a food source in the wild. Ants often forage for edible items like seeds, fruit, or insects which you can repurpose for sustenance. Observe their movements and follow the line to its destination. Check the area for collected food or nearby water sources. Always ensure the food is safe to consume by inspecting and cooking it when possible. Apply spider webs to wounds for bleeding. Spider webs are a natural remedy for stopping bleeding and protecting wounds. According to Grandpa, their fine, sticky fibers help clot blood and shield cuts from dirt. Look for clean, fresh webs and gently press them over the wound. Secure the web with plant fibers or cloth if needed. Replace the web regularly to maintain hygiene. Spider webs are a surprising yet effective survival resource in emergencies. Collect dew for drinking. Dew is a clean and accessible water source in the wild. Use a cloth, leaves, or even your hands to collect dew from grass, plants, or rocks in the early morning. Squeeze the collected moisture into a container or directly into your mouth. Repeat the process across different areas to gather more water. While not a large supply, dew is safe to drink and offers vital hydration in arid or resource-scarce environments. It's a life-saving trick when larger water sources aren't available. Scatter strong-smelling plants to deter animals. Strong-smelling plants can serve as natural repellents to keep animals at bay. Gather aromatic plants like mint, garlic, or wild onion, which emit odors that many animals dislike. Scatter crushed leaves or stems around your campsite or shelter to create a protective barrier. The strong scents mask your presence and discourage curious wildlife. Reapply the plants daily or after rain to maintain their effectiveness. Use pine resin as tinder. Pine resin is a reliable fire-starting material due to its flammability and long burn time. Look for sticky, amber-colored resin oozing from pine trees. Scrape the resin with a stick or knife and collect it in a small container. Add the resin to dry tinder like grass or bark and ignite it with a spark or flame. The resin burns steadily, making it easier to build a fire even in damp conditions. Keep a small stash of resin handy to ensure you can quickly and effectively start fires when needed. For more contents like this, click here to subscribe.